All right, folks, it is day 24 of 31 days of Halloween slash 31 days of horror. Yes, we're almost finished with this long, drawn out thing. I'm not really sure how to describe it. I don't know why I invested all this time into it, but you know what? We're sticklers. When we start something, we finish it, dad nabbit, and we're going to keep trucking along even when we're watching really, really underwhelming late 1990s psychological thrillers such as In Dreams, which is our movie for day number 24. And In Dreams, 1999 was the year where horror kind of went pop a little because you had the Blair Witch Project, you had The Sixth Sense, you had Stir of Echoes. So you had sort of a resurgence in sort of the freaky deaky supernatural horror, which had kind of been dormant since Scream. And this is a movie that kind of sort of tries to go in that vein. It's sort of a combination of The Sixth Sense and Seven, which I know sounds like it could be interesting, but trust me, it's a very, very poorly made film. Just not good. I mean, it's one of those things where, even though you have a lot of really good actors in the movie, the plot's just not there. It's just so convoluted. You have like these divergent, story arcs going on, like from alternate time frames, and it's just a complete and utter mess of a movie. All right. So to sort of summarize what this is about, okay, it stars Annette Bening, and she lives like in Boston or Maine somewhere, and she keeps having nightmares about a girl who goes missing, and she keeps also having nightmares about this town that was flooded many, many, many years ago. So like the entire infrastructure is underwater. Well, not to kind of give away too much of the story, but eventually you find out that she's not just having nightmares about any particular girl being killed, but someone very close to her. And she also, fittingly enough, has a psychic connection to the killer. And the killer in this movie is played by Robert Downey Jr. Yes, pre Iron Man Tony Stark. And this is like when he was right out of rehab. And he plays a dude with like this crazy haircut. And so you have basically like four different parallel story arcs going on simultaneously. You have Annette Bening going through psychosis. You have Annette Bening going through like some weird alternate time frame where she's pretending to be other people. You have another alternate storyline with Robert Downey Jr. and him killing people. And then you have like this really like convoluted, like I'm still not sure exactly what service is supposed to have for the film. Uh, Sort of dialogue about the people who used to live in the old town. So it's like story on top of subplot on top of subplot, and you're just like, I don't know what's going on anymore. It's just so convoluted, and the editing is just so sketchy. To me, it just feels like a movie that really wasn't completed. Like maybe the director had like a certain vision, but then in post editing, the studio took it away from him and just gapped it up. But it's a very, very hard to follow movie. Like one of the hardest like films I've had to watch in a long time. I'm just like, what is going on? I'm totally lost. Um, and the special effects just aren't there. I mean, it's pretty much what you expect. It's a lot of jump scares, nightmare sequences. Uh, Basically, if you want to watch Annette Bening sit outside and smoke cigarettes for 30 minutes, this is your movie because that is literally like at least a third of the motion picture is just that happening. So it's a pretty uninteresting movie. I mean, there are some decent parts here and there, I guess. I mean, it's fun to watch a Iron Man run around acting like a caveman. But just by and large, it's a very, very underwhelming film. You really kind of expect more from the guy who did The Crying Game. That's such a great sort of swerve of a movie. And in this one, no such thing. It just tags along. It's boring, convoluted, and you can't really wait for it to be over. Now, this isn't the worst movie I've seen during Halloween 2016. That still goes to Beyond the Door. That one is the nadir for this year. But this one is a close second. It's a very, very bad movie. Really, really bad for its time. I can kind of see why it's on the internet for free now. Paramount Vault, they have that. And they put up a couple of horror films for to be seasonally appropriate. This is one of the free ones. Just not good at all. I'm going to give this one 1.5 Ghost's Grease Cups out of 4. You can do way, way, way better. And tomorrow, speaking of way better, we've got a film who does supernatural, mainstream, big budget box office horror right. One of the best early 2000s pre 9/11 horror movies probably ever, in my humble opinion. Well, not really, not ever. You got to kind of go back and redo that one. one of the best early 2000s before 9/11 horror films. There we go. Now we come to our basis to be accurate. It's a great, great movie. It doesn't even get anywhere near as much respect as it deserves. You're going to stick around from that one, and it's way better than In Dreams, like, for sure.